Hello everybody, we are back once again with NXN, and today we are going to be talking brutalities, how to do them, how to unlock them, all of the goodies, and a few secrets as well, including, yes, that brutality that you can't do, which I'm going to put a fairly safe bet is either Johnny Cage, Scorpion, or Kung Lao. But we'll go over some of the other ones and some of the tricky bits, but first of all we're going to talk about unlocking, and I can't remember if I've said or not, but the footage going on the screen right now is modded, thanks to Ermaca's MK1 hook. I'll leave a link for that in the description. If you're on PC, highly recommend it. Makes a lot of things a lot of fun, and we will be using that a little bit as we go on, just to show you some stuff. We will be using the universal numbering system that everybody uses in Mortal Kombat. You'll see this a lot in a lot of videos on the screen, so rather than me having to say X on Xbox and square on PlayStation for every button, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. So down 2 is your uppercut, for example. You'll see the buttons on screen, but I'll still use the numbering system. So we just need to get that out of the way so you guys can understand that. It becomes quite obvious once you're into it. I won't be using it like in depth in too many details, but here and there it's just handy to have. So where to unlock? First things first, we go off to the shrine, which for me has been emptied out because everything's been doing that. Just keep pumping coins into it and you will get a shrine for each cameo except for Shujinko in there, because Shujinko does not have any brutalities. We then go across to the seasonal items in the seasonal store. Now these obviously change season to season, but 2 items remain every season. There are 2 brutalities in there. They will be the same every single season. You can see the little infinity symbol, like they cycle in and out. Just be aware that obviously your currency doesn't when the season resets. And then we have the main method, which is, if you look in the top left there, we've got NXN, level 454, and on my case, a touchpad. We go into where you've got all the quests and all the rest of that good stuff. You right bumper across to Mastery. Now from here, you will see, let's pick somebody at random, Scorpion. Going to be doing some stuff with Scorpion. You will see level 3, level 5, level 7, level 10. These will all unlock at the same, at the same level. So a brutality, every character will unlock a brutality at level 3, 5, 7, 10, 15, etc. Unlike the fatalities, you do need to unlock these. You can't just try and do them without unlocking them first. If you want to have a look on how to get all the fatalities and how to do them, because you can just do the second fatality for every character, I'll leave a link in the pinned comment to the MK Warehouse, which is a great resource for that. So now that we're into the game and we've unlocked some brutalities, how do you actually do them? You've probably pulled off the uppercut one, where you take the head off and you don't quite know how you did it, but you just seem to do it every time, so you assumed every other brutality would be the same. There are criteria to doing the brutality. So what happens is you come in here, you go into your move list, and you'll see down the bottom there on the 1 button, the advanced view. Now you see the advanced attacks, and then you push that button and it brings up a lot of frame data, and if you're new to the game, you go a little cross-eyed and go, I don't need that. I'm just here to have a little bit of a mess about. I do not need to know these startup and active frames on everything. So you hide it and you carry on. But if you go across to finish it, and go to, for example, the classic, that uppercut you've been doing, and then do it, then you notice underneath all the eye-crossing frame data, you will see notes. Hold to during the uppercut. Now, the uppercut comes out so quick that 9 times out of 10, you're still holding the button while doing it, so it's actually harder to not do it than do it, if that makes sense. So this is what you're looking at, and this is where a lot of people, I think, are just going to sit there and go, right, cool, thank you, bye. So, for instance, this one here, any way you slice it, just push down, down, down. Any way you do it. Forward, back, square. Or forward, back, 1, hold back. Jump distance, by the way, just so we're clear, is here. Further away than that. But also be aware that your opponent could move forward. So there is that kind of... Pretty much only try for this at full screen. Because that way you're kind of covering the base of them trying to dash forward or something like that. We do also have this one, light this candle. Final hit must come from demonic slam. Up diagonal, 2, hold 2, then 1 and 2. But obviously you can't do that. So what do? You basically got to pop them up into the air. Now Scorpion has a couple of ways of doing that. He has forward 4, which is that. So then it would be bump, 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 bump. and then whatever the buttons are. So once you put those buttons in, boom, 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 mash down. If you are stuck in the middle of a match and you do a forward throw, odds are on that the Brutality, I haven't even looked for the cameo throw, because the forward throws are the cameo throws, are going to be down, down, down. It's statistically likely. It's not every one of them by any means, but I think it's around half. So what does some of this look like in game? I did kind of quickly gloss over this one, because this one is a pain in the butt, because you have to be fast. So it's sort of and then just literally flat palm the analog stick and circle it forward, down, back. And it's the direction that you're facing when you start the throw. So in Scorpion's case, this throw Brutality right here is the tricky one, because you have to do it really quick, because in terms of animations, the finisher comes out fast, and I mean real fast. So you have to put that in lightning fast. You can do it on the D-pad if you're comfortable, or just throw the stick and hope. You see how fast that animation goes dark, and you have to do it that way. It is lightning fast. Kung Lao is a little bit slower, but it's the same basic principle. When you grab them right at the end, time will slow down. You'll see a slowdown effect. And that will give you time to enter, because these two Brutalities in particular, they come out really fast, and there's a whole esports reason as to why you don't want something that takes 140 health to magically reduce you to 0, involving breakers and stuff like that, so it's still an even match. So that's why that has to be so low. But also, the slowing down of the time does help you put the combination in quick. But since we've got Scorpion here and you have just seen that finisher, now is a good time to actually talk about hidden variations. So some Brutalities have little variations that you can add to the move, or usually involving both triggers. So basically your fatal blow input, left trigger and right trigger together, where it'll do something a little different. So you remember how it looked last time? But if we hold the trigger, it does a slightly different variation. I'll show them on the screen side by side for you, just so you can get an idea of what all of this looks like. But yeah, there's quite a few characters with that variation to them. I think Tara has one. Quite a few characters do. Have a look around online. There's a few on my channel. But now it's time to have a look at the real pain in the butt, and that is Johnny Cage's Game Over Brutality. So now we're going to talk about the tricky one, and this might take me a couple of tries to get, to be brutally honest. The absolute mess. Believe it or not, this is actually explained better now than it used to. You must do a throw escape, then a final hit must come from hands off. Hands off is an extra thing you can do after a throw escape that's essentially enhancing it by pushing the throw button. Reptile's going to come up and throw me. You have to basically read whether they're going to go for a back throw, which is 1, or a forward throw, which you then have to push 3 to cancel off of. Sorry, seeing the symbols directly in front of me makes it tricky. So Reptile does the throw. Boom. We throw escape. But if you then very, very quickly push the throw button after you've done the break, a little quicker than that apparently, boom, you will do that, and that'll disable them from throwing for a little while, and that will then trigger the Brutality. The thing is that it says it only takes 10 health off, so you would need them quite low on health. I think I've done it under 40 health before now. I think it was like 37 something, and that worked fine. But we're gonna do a little bit of showbiz magic, and then we'll be able to show you. So he is going to throw me, we're going to counter, then we're going to do the Brutality. The Brutality will automatically trigger once you have done the thing. Like, you don't have to do any down ups or anything like that. So nope, we'll try that again. There you go. Another perfect take. Now the odds of you ever pulling that off during a match are millions to one. Like, that's very, very professional top-end tier stuff. So, you know, do it with a second controller or something if you fancy some fun, but don't think you're going to be pulling that one off all the time. There is one, however, that you can pull off all the time and isn't anywhere in anybody's move list and is unlocked by default in much like the classic. And that is the back throw, or just the throw, and then you hold up 2, so your uppercut button, and that'll do this. Every character can do this. So yeah, that's about it for a lot of the complicated stuff. Ghostface, pay attention to what mode you have to be in for him, because some of them you need to be Enforcer, some of them you need to be in others. Double check for aerial combos as well, and like the move names. Homelander has one that's back forward 2, but it's the air version of the back forward 2. So just pay attention to the, if you're not able to pull off the brutalities, have a look in the moveset and double check that the name is right, because it might be some strange little variation that's like an air version or something like that. Okay? Any questions and any ones you really have problems with, let me know in the comments. I will go digging for you. I've seen a lot of new players coming in from Game Pass and asking about brutalities and how to do them, which is why I made this X amount of years after the game came out. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Until next time, take care. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.